How to mastermind with other SEOs. Masterminding is kind of like an informal discussion group between a small number of professional practitioners. They kind of exist in every industry, and you kind of have them on large scale and small scale, and the kind I'm talking about here is definitely on a small scale where you can meet on a periodic basis and chat, discuss the business, tactics, strategy, problems, workarounds, etc. with a small group of people, hopefully some of whom at a higher level of achievement than you are right now, and together you kind of all help each other develop your businesses. And in some instances you may have direct partnerships, but most of the time you'll just be kind of discussing how you do things and how to overcome certain problems or successes you've had, strategies that didn't work, general updates and news. Now, in a way, forums on the web are kind of a much larger version of a mastermind group, such as we have on my SEO forum at trafficplanet.com. Actually, we talk a lot about conversions there as well. It isn't just SEO. So when you think about a forum like Warrior Forum or trafficplanet.com, these are kind of bigger mastermind groups, but the problem with those is they tend to be, they're obviously open and public, but you don't get quite that same level of intimate sharing of insider knowledge necessarily. The thing is, in SEO and internet marketing, successful individuals are much more likely to share their best tactics, discoveries and workarounds in a small mastermind group than they are in an open forum. And the reason for that is that they don't necessarily want those tactics and strategies getting spoiled through overuse or abuse if too many people are using them because they've read it on a forum somewhere. So it seems to be just kind of human nature that within the confines of a mastermind group between people who trust each other, more useful tactics and sharings take place than you would find necessarily, not always, but quite a bit on bigger forums. So how can you find successful SEOs to mastermind with? Well, I get a lot of approaches to enter into partnership agreements or form new mastermind groups. And in almost every case, I have to say no, and that's typically because of time poverty and not necessarily because of the sincerity or how good that partnership or mastermind group would be. But there are things that you can do to stand out. So when you approach someone to mastermind with, you need to approach with something of value. It's no good just going to somebody saying, hey, can you give me all your best information and tactics so that I can develop my business, my online business? Obviously, that just doesn't work, and I get a lot of those kind of offers, and unsurprisingly, they're quite easy to turn down. But because I get so many, it also just becomes a time management factor. So if possible, just try to give something, offer something, rather than seeking to take. Always look to give before you get. Now, a good example of this from my kind of SEO activities is a guy called Chad Geriardi, and Chad is a lawyer in San Diego, but he's going through quite a big life change, hopefully, and will be, if it all goes to plan, moving to Europe very soon and living a much better life here in the countryside in Hungary. And Chad approached me offering to use his legal expertise to help stop the illegal sharing of some of my older products, digital products, online. And in fact, Chad took care of that and was very, very effective, and still is to this day, in stopping anybody illegally sharing my products, digital products, ebooks and things like that. And because Chad came in, and he actually, from memory now, because it's quite a while ago, and I have met Chad a couple of times in California. We've had dinner and gone out and stuff. I think when he actually approached me, he'd already arranged for some of my work to be taken down from a particular site, so he just kind of did the favor in advance. He kind of paid it forward, if you like. Obviously, that was a great way for him to start a relationship with me, and hopefully in my partnership with Chad, I do lots of good things that he gets a lot of benefit from, and he still, protects me in terms of digital protection. But this whole idea of giving before you get is a crucial first step. And another thing to do when you're approaching these guys is definitely follow through. I mean, quite often I'll meet people at big internet marketing events who will give me the big pitch about they want to do this and they want to be partners or whatever. So I give them my email address, and so often with those people, I never hear from them again. So they actually went to all the trouble, they came up and did a big pitch to me and reached out, and we're talking about this and talking about that, and they never had the follow through to go through with it. So be different. Be the guy who gives before you get, follow through if you say you're going to do something. Be respectful, be polite, be patient, and just kind of keep at it, and you will in time find SEOs that you can mastermind with, or people in the IM community. So in terms of specific places that you can find them, obviously forums are one of the best. So for example, on trafficplanet.com, there are a bunch of very good SEO people hanging out there. So you can interact with them, you can comment on their posts, you can just engage with them, and if they like the sound of your responses and you guys strike up a discussion, that can lead to a mastermind group or possibly some kind of partnership. As I said before, live events are a possibility. It could be that you go to their live seminars and that's how you strike up a relationship, depending on where you live and depending on where they're at. It could be that you're a customer for their products. Always kind of view, I think, from both sides of the buying equation, that today's customer could be next month's or next year's partner. And if you have that mindset, I think that very much influences how you treat your customers. And hopefully it's quite a big shift if you view that somebody who is a customer now, and I think with all of the different partnerships I've ever had in internet marketing, which is quite a few, all of them except one started out as my customer on like a $27 product or a $37 product. From something small can come a great partnership or relationship. So even just as a customer, you do have a little bit of leverage, and you have got a little bit of room to potentially, if it's handled in a kind of intelligent way, to develop a partnership which can flourish into a mastermind group potentially. So here are just some general mastermind group guidelines when you find your individuals to hook up with. Try to keep it fairly small, around 6 to 10 people. Just keeps it more manageable. Obviously, bigger forums do have their place, like Warrior Forum and Traffic Planet. But for the purpose here with masterminding, I find a group of about 6 to 10 is ideal. Try to have a generally agreed catch-up time. Once a month is good. We're all super busy. Have a specified clock on, clock off time, and you guys can share around the agenda covering different things that you want to talk about each month. But that kind of makes it more manageable for everybody concerned, and they can lock it into their Google calendars or their real life calendars, and you can build that structure into your mastermind group. Typically these will be held on Skype. You'll all join in a big Skype conversation. So all of the bigger internet marketers that I know all use Skype for their kind of group conferences. It's free. Usually, depending on your location or your internet connection, the quality is pretty good most of the time. Skype is the means through which you'll actually hook up and talk about stuff. So just to recap, be giving and not taking in your mastermind group. Be friendly, cooperative, helpful. And then remember, this isn't a paid membership. People are here because they want to be here, because obviously they're finding it valuable. So treat the other members' time as valuable. And of course, anyone can come or go as they wish, because we all lead very, very busy lives, and sometimes it's just not possible to maintain participation in this group or that, which is completely fine. But don't think of it like a paid membership with a kind of locked, formal, rigid structure. It's far more flexible than that. And it may be that some months it just isn't possible for all of the group to get together, and it could be postponed. But these kind of mastermind groups are where some of the very, very best tactics and insights and workarounds are shared. So they're hugely worthwhile in pursuing.